So I guess this is on, working. The light's on and the red thing is off. Red thing's off. Hello? Okay, there it goes. Okay. Very good. Well, welcome everybody and to the County Madera Cal ID Remote Access Network Board, also known as RAN. And the first thing we'd like to do is pledge allegiance to the flag. If you'd join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. Thank you. Move to, are there any additions to the agenda?
No, Mr. Chairman, no additions to the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Move on to public comment. The first 15 minutes of each regular session are set aside for members of the public to address the board in any matter under the jurisdiction of the board not appearing on the agenda. The board will not take action on any items presented under public comment. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Anyone addressing the board is asked to print their name clearly on the speaker sheet at the podium and state their name and county of residence for the record. Anybody here would like to address the board under that definition? Seeing none, let us move on to the approval of the minutes. I'll accept a motion for action.
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second?
I'll second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carried. 4B, discussion and consideration of approval of an agreement with Gemalto Cogen Inc. for a hardware sale and software license agreement in the amount of $372,467 for 3 years with year-to-year renewals.
I have Corey Kennedy on the line. Corey, can you hear us?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Chairman, would you like him to go ahead and address the item?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Would you like Corey to go ahead and address?
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. I just
Okay,
got
Corey.
I had to turn the text off, and I just saw that my grandson took 4 steps today, so that's his first step.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
Very good, very good.
Sorry. Okay. Yes, that'd be wonderful, Corey.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm sorry I couldn't be there today in person. I'm traveling in the Bay Area, but I'm not sure what you guys would like me to do about presenting the item. As far as I recall, in our last meetings, it was voted on to move forward with the APIS, and since then we have been putting together contract terms for this purchase, and I think everything was submitted through Mary. In addition to that, we put together the pricing for the extended maintenance coverage for the future APIS and the existing LiveScan systems.
Okay, very good. Are there any questions from the board? Tyson?
Is there any chance we could hear from IT and get their perspective?
Yes, that'd be good. And then we have Regina like to say a few words.
Good afternoon, Tanya Say, County Chief Information Officer. Thank you for allowing us an opportunity to ask some questions on this topic. We met with, Brian Rohde from my staff, met yesterday with Sheriff Varney. We, meaning myself and Brian, just received the statement of work for this project. The contract and the statement of work, we were given it from Rhonda last week on Wednesday, and since that time, as soon as it was received, Mr. Rohde started to review the statement of work, and what we are requesting is some additional time. We spoke with Sheriff Varney yesterday. Based on the cursory review of the statement of work, we think that it would be very useful for us just to take a moment, pause, kind of review the statement of work a little bit more, give our technology team a chance to interact with the vendor and do some revisions on that statement of work. In addition, we're also requesting maybe some time to meet with a user group. Sheriff Varney had recommended that perhaps we could create a user group so that we can fully understand what the needs are for the various agencies that are involved in this, to make sure that we're covering that and that's incorporated in that statement of work. And the other thing is that we EIT are a little bit unclear on who the project owner is, who the project manager is. So if we could get some more details on who that project sponsor is. The sheriff did indicate that he will be happy to be the lead on the project, but we just need some clarification on that. Mainly, we're not trying to put a halt to the project. We just need some time to review the statement of work from a technical perspective and work with the vendor on some questions that we have.
Hi, this is Corey. Could I propose that we do a conference call with some of our technical folks and your team next week to review the statement of work, to answer any questions there may be?
The conference call would be fabulous. Thank you very much for being willing to do that. The problem is it's Wednesday right now, and I know we might be tight for this week. Could we make it early next week?
Oh yeah, that was my proposal, would be next week sometime.
Okay.
What times would work for you? I'll try to arrange it.
If I can get your contact information, I'm sure we have it on this contract, then we will be, I'll go ahead and send you an email once I get back and we can look at our calendar. Is that all right?
That's perfect.
Okay, very good. Are there any questions of Tanya? Tyson, anybody? Anyone? Regina?
Yeah, my one question was whether the county incurred any maintenance for the maintenance, whether we received any maintenance for the years where we're going to be back paying for maintenance in the support fee schedule. I'm sorry, I can't remember this thing. Let me be a little bit more clear. So I understand that tacked on to this cost is some fees for years where we didn't pay for maintenance, and I was just wondering whether we received maintenance and support during those years.
So the live scans were installed roughly 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. They would come with a 1-year warranty. When we started the pricing process for the maintenance, we were partway through the year 2 of the installation. And as to answer your question about if services were rendered for any like service calls and things, I believe there were. I could ask our support team to create a report from the ticketing system for things that were reported, if that's something of interest, to show that there was maintenance and services provided, service calls and things of that nature.
That would be great. So if you just work with Ms. Say, Director Say, and provide her that report, I think then that's the most appropriate person to respond to this question, and I appreciate it.
Okay.
Corey, this is Chief Perez with the Madera Jail. My understanding in previous years, the issue that came up about when we didn't have a maintenance agreement, we weren't going to go back and retro those years. That was my understanding over the years. Yeah,
so during the prior to these live scan installs, there was a long lapse in the maintenance for the systems support agreement. So anything that came up, if something broke down, it was handled on a time and materials basis, which gives you some coverage, but it's an incidental base. So if something breaks, then you got to get a hold of someone to troubleshoot the problem and get a quote to repair it. During that time, there's system downtime, and I don't know how critical some of the I know some of the systems are critical and some of them aren't as critical, but you have to factor in that there's an inconvenience of having downtime and gaps in communication and things like that. Whereas if the maintenance agreement was active and in place, you just place a service call to help desk, then we have an SLA for the response times and the repair process. It gets done automatically without any delays or minimal delays. And
Corey, we're going to have to go back and look at that because I believe that was the issue. There was no maintenance place a maintenance agreement in place, and as a department head, we were having issues with support. And that's why we had to come back, and I believe we worked out where when you came out and did a service, we paid for those service as each department required maintenance. But I believe that was the issue we were having over the years, that we were not supporting the maintenance agreement. And one reason, and I'll tell you from the history, is because we didn't have the financial backup to do it at the time.
Right, so I understand the problem. There was no maintenance agreement, so it's difficult to provide maintenance or services in a timely fashion when there's no maintenance agreement, because you have to contact someone from your agency would, if there was a breakdown, would have to contact someone and get a quote and get service lined up, and then it could be several days or maybe a week or longer to get a plan of action to replace that item or to fix that item, which is, I'm sure is less than ideal for an agency that has to use their systems. So, but we, our hope and our goal is to address that ahead of time, having a maintenance agreement in place, and then, provide good service. So, all the maintenance agreement, all the SLAs in the maintenance agreement.
Yes, Regina?
Chairman and Corey, this is Regina Garza, their legal counsel. Might I suggest, if the board agrees, is that you submit that report to Director Say, and we just look at the charges being proposed here in light of what Chief Perez said, and just make sure that we're all in agreement with the total back pay for maintenance that we might have received in the years. Going forward, that's a different matter, but maybe the timing that Director Say is suggesting is also important for this particular aspect, and we can just make sure that both sides are clear on what's being charged and what was agreed to in the past and what we're going to do going forward.
If you guys wouldn't mind writing an email with the contact information so I can respond back to it.
Yes, I'll do that this afternoon.
Okay. Very good. Dino?
Yeah, thank you, Jim. I apologize, but I would like to request, at least from the City of Madera standpoint, that our IT people be involved too, if we could arrange that. And I'm pretty sure Chief Revere would want the same from Chowchilla, so that all the IT is together and talking and working something out, if that's possible.
Yes, absolutely. That we definitely want to gain that user perspective from all the stakeholders involved. We will keep that in mind.
Good. Okay. So from what I hear, we will then pass on making a decision on 4B and probably 4C today until we can get additional information when there's more after a meeting with the company and the various IT departments, and then bring it back perhaps at a specially scheduled meeting so we can move this along. But otherwise, our next meeting, regular meeting, would be several months down the road. Okay, good. Yes, Don?
I just also want to make sure that with the user group and involving IT is very, very important, but there are aspects of this statement of work that we in IT don't have any clue. Like there's a reference to a TOT. We have no clue what that is. 2 of them are included in this statement of work, but there's like 4 others that aren't. So we would need to know from your users as well. And that's just one example. There's other things in the statement of work that we don't know. We can only answer to the technical aspects of it. So if we, so we'll also need to involve the users, like a user group, as well as the technical teams.
Very good. Makes a lot of sense. Okay.
The TOTs are the types of transactions that are set up for processing from a live scan into the APHIS. So there'd be like a criminal TOT, applicant TOT, registrant TOT. That type of transaction is what TOT stands for.
Well, thank you. Rondo, so at this point, what we would do is make a motion to continue these 2 items to a special meeting. Is that what?
Yes, because your regular scheduled meeting is the end of February. So we'd
Okay.
have to find a time for a special meeting, yes.
Okay, if we,
And a special meeting, I only need to post 24 hours in advance.
so it kind of depends on, you know, how quickly the groups can get together and, you know, with the teams and technical teams and so forth. And so I guess at this point, respond to Rhonda and let her know, and then she can send out emails and ask people when would be a good time to meet. It works for everybody. Okay, very good. So I'll accept the motion to continue items 4B and 4C until we can either have a special meeting or a regular meeting to make a decision.
Chairman, I'd like to make that motion to extend 4B and 4C until the next meeting.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. Members and staff reports. Are there any reports anybody would like to share with the group? If not, we've already talked about the next meeting. We will either have a regular meeting or we'll have a special meeting to be determined. And with that, we shall adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you.